All right, let's do this. Who's ready? We're going to be doing the Nikola / Lucid live stream today, together as one. Here, I gotta get my. Oh, okay, there we go. Just keep myself within the logos. How is everybody doing? I'm not going to be around for the rest of this week, going out of town, down to Mexico. So, wanted to still do a live stream, so we're doing them together. So, welcome everybody, and thank you JJ already for the super chat. I appreciate that. We are going to take off a little slow, not get into the video quite yet, because we'll just recap the stocks for everyone, because everyone wants to see how good everything was today. So let's take a look at that. Here we have Nikola. Let's see, closed at 370, down 22 cents. That's quite a large percentage when you think about it at that price. After hours, it's already up 2 cents. Cheers, guys. That's 2 cents. The high was 384 and a half, and it opened at 382. Yesterday's close was 392. So if you were thinking there was a comeback coming in the market, you might have been wrong. That was short-lived, but I do see something happening soon, just because it's a gut feeling, not because of any other reason. Yeah, JJ is just nailing the comments today. He's got control over that comment section. Let's see. Debt Prez is here. Hello, Debt Prez. Welcome. And let's talk about Lucid stock. Also, not a winner today. Let's see. $14.99 was the close, down 41 cents. A high was $15.17. Opened at $14.96. Yesterday closed at $15.40. So, again, not a good day for them. Tesla was the same way. Tesla was down $8. Ford was like the only car one that I watched that was actually up. They're actually up 15 cents. I didn't get a chance to read any news, but maybe there was some. Who knows? Polestar down. Mulan. Solo went down like 9 cents today, which is pretty substantial for a $1.26 stock. But yeah, everything was down, but we've got another couple of days and for the week, so we'll see what happens. All right, I know you guys aren't here to watch me recap the stocks, so let's get into it. Oh, wait. Debt Prez tried to walk inside Nikola's headquarters today to hit the merchandise store. Unfortunately, wasn't able to gain access. Oh, so were you able to get inside the headquarters, or just not into the store? I'm a little curious, because there were people here encouraging me to just go inside and say, hey guys, what's up? And I heard that they've got a couple of vehicles out in the front display, including the Badger, which I'm still surprised that is still there. Another Nikola to the moon. Is Trevor Milton case finally over? We can quickly recap that. No, it is not. One of his lawyers got COVID, so it's there's a bit of a delay. He's not testifying, which is upsetting, because I really would. I like it when people who lie have to testify, because either they're going to lie under oath, or they're going to have to recant. And when there's plenty of evidence showing that they're lying, it kind of like, where do you go from that? So, JJ said, did you hear that Brian was invested in Arcimoto and not Nikola? He has a very, very small amount of shares of Arcimoto. So, though, if there's any time to invest in Nikola, now is the time with the price so low. Not giving you stock advice. I'm just here for entertainment purposes only. Let's see here. Let's bring this up. I think you guys are ready for the live stream. And I don't know which one comes first. I didn't put this together. Riley did. My son, for those of you who are unfamiliar. So I don't know who's coming first. So wasn't my choice. And here we go. Big splash screen. Hey, we got 75 people on. Welcome, everybody. Looks like it's going to be Nikola. I wonder if he mixed them together. I doubt it, though. That would have been fun. Hey, so we got 74 people on, but only 25 likes. So come on, guys. Be a sport and hit that like button. as we recap the progress of Nikola over the years. We can kind of say that now. Over the years, we're approaching 2 years of doing this. There's the FCEV, for the breast cancer awareness. That's funny. You guys should read Ted Prez's comment. All right. So here we go. They're doing construction work on Hauser Road, which is the road that leads into Nikola. So we are going to be flying in from the north side, whether we like it or not, for the unforeseen future amount of time. It's just going to be a while. So this is the center of the test track. A lot of weeds. I think they eventually will have a lot of things going on in the middle of that. There are plans for it, but not in the immediate future. And over here we can see there is one tray out there. Yeah, what iMelt said. Like the video, it's free. So you see they've got all the cones set up here to do a little bit of testing. Left, right, left type of stuff. And it actually doesn't connect to that track right there, but it's just a small track there. And there's a truck out there. Don't know what this guy was doing, but I'm sure he's doing whatever he's supposed to be, right? You can see the track is complete. You can see all the guardrails are up. So that's kind of cool. Nice track. I would love to take one of my cars on there. Almost any one of my cars. Not any one of them, but there's a lot of cars I would like to take on that track. But I know that that's not going to happen. Test lake. Originally, there was a plan to put a lake in the middle of the test track. I'm not sure what the purpose would be. Thank you, Prez. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you being a Patreon and all the support you're giving us. I appreciate that. Prez says, "Thanks, Bear, for all you do. The drive to Coolidge is no joke. The security knew you though, so you're famous." So wait a minute. Which site did you go to? You said you went to headquarters, though. I thought, right? Let's see. The headquarters is in Phoenix. We went by there about a month or so ago, and I did not go on site, but I took pictures from around the site. Got a yachts here. Says, "Hey, Bear." All right, so you can see the construction here is progressing. Since our last live stream, they got about another 4 or 5 sections done. You know, Deprez, you mentioned me being famous. I'm not, but last night I ran into someone who had a Nikola shirt on, and he works at Nikola. He does some of the driving of the test trucks, and he knew me, and it was a little humbling because he actually acted like he was starstruck, but I'm not a star. But it was just nice to meet him. He had nice words to say, so that was kind of fun last night. The Nikola wave is not still alive, as far as I know. I haven't heard anybody mention it. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. Tyler says Nikola is the best EV stock right now to buy. $8 billion in the Infrastructure Act for hydrogen hubs, up to $3 per kilogram, and $40,000 per truck federal incentives. And that guy I saw yesterday, it was actually at a car dealership, and he was buying himself a brand new EV. So that was kind of cool. Also, getting into the swing, we'll have to look for a Chevy Bolt popping up there in the future, and that's going to be his car. So it was cool, and like I said, it's a little humbling. Yeah, Tyler's right. There's plenty of incentives to buy these trucks, and with the hydrogen coming along, if they can get that infrastructure built out and then also make money on it, it can turn into a cash cow. We've just got to put this whole Milton thing behind us, and I think things are going to be a lot better. And they tore down the sign. Here you can see all the construction that they're doing on Hauser Road. They've torn this thing all apart. And we used to park sometimes over by that sign. Sometimes, let me go back, we'd park over by the like right on the corner here. We've parked over here, but this has all been torn up. It's all dirt now. So they're going to be widening this road so that all the trucks that are coming in and out, delivering supplies, delivering trucks, they're going to have more room to come out. So this is probably going to go to at least 4 lanes, and probably a center lane also. They do a chicken lane here in Arizona all the time. You have 2 lanes on each side, and then you have a center lane where if you're making a left, you can get into that lane. But sometimes people want to both make a left at the same time, opposite ways. So it's kind of the chicken lane. You can see right here, this canal, this little irrigation canal, they're making it so that they're putting a pipe here so that it's going to go around to move this out of the way. That way they have room for the road. The road will probably come all the way out to here and up here, and then I don't know what they're going to do with the railroad tracks. I don't know if they would widen it right now, but right on the other side here is a farm, and they own the property, I think, pretty close to the street. I'm not sure of that, but they use it. If you can see up there, they use it for parking. Tyler asked me, did Nikola employees say anything about Nikola? He several times emphatically said he's not going to tell me anything. He wasn't mean about it. He's just like, I can't, and he didn't. So there's the city of Eloy sign again, and yeah, I guess they just said let's just tear this down. But yeah, so the road is going to be much wider. So we're not going over on that side for a while. Dead says, headquarters close to where I'm staying at the airport. I drive to Coolidge on Tuesday evening. It took 1 hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, from where we are, we're about 55 minutes away. And then we go over to Lucid, and that's another 45 minutes or so. And then back from Lucid to our place, which is almost another hour. So yeah, we do a lot of driving, and that's why we ended up getting into an accident, is just how many miles we're putting on. Eventually something bad is going to happen, and it did. And that's why we lost the Challenger 2 weeks ago. Rest in peace, Challenger. One more scat pack, one more ice engine off the road, right? That's how we're going to get rid of them. We're just going to crash them. That's it. Deprez says, talk to 2 or 3 Nikola employees. They all said they love working there at the manufacturing facility. Yeah, I haven't seen any complaints. I've seen a lot of the same people that have started early on are still there. Sorry, JJ, no secrets. One of the guys said they shipped out 27 BEVs yesterday. I don't know if it was, well, I think they put them at another site right before the end of the quarter and then ship them out from there. And that would be some of those 27 would be the ones that we saw last week before the end of the quarter. Will they offer free hydrogen for employees with Toyota Mirai? None of the employees have that car. In fact, almost nobody has it. There's a pile of frames right there. We've seen frames coming in and coming out. Those are not always the same frames. Sometimes they store them over here next to the building. Not today. This is just other storage for parts. There are a couple of other areas around the site where we did see more frames. So they've got plenty of frames. There's another frame right there. It's not laying in the stack. That right there is an emergency area. If there's a fire and you have to run out, that's your meeting point. And there's another one further north in the property. And there was one of the Nikola test trucks that had a semi on it. It looks like he actually picked up a load, because that is the battery building where they store the batteries before they install them. So I don't know if he's unloading batteries, or if it was just a test and maybe they're putting some weight in it. I doubt it, because they already have weights in the other trailers. Yeah, hey, what Jaden said, like the video if you haven't, because I know at least half of you haven't. So what's up with that? There's the cabs. There's another emergency meeting area. We got cabs over here. We got cabs over here. I haven't counted them. Last time I counted, it was like over 120. Then it went to 150, and then it went down. Over here, let's see if we're not gonna go over there. I'm gonna tease you guys, just real quick. Over over here, these are the fifth wheel hitches that connect on the back of the frames, where they connect to. Over here's a pile of tires, over here's a pile of parts, and I don't know why those three cabs are separated. Maybe they're in timeout for doing something wrong. All right, so here is FCEV number 4. It's got a tag on the front. There's a magnetic sign or just some sort of sticker on the side of the truck. It says something about, all we could catch was H2, like maybe hydrogen or something. But we couldn't read out the rest. We didn't get a good shot of it. But we're going to zoom in here. We're going to see that is Beta FCEV 4 right there. That's official. So being that that's number 4, I'm going to assume they have at least 4. I think that's a safe bet. Thank you, Arthur. Arthur says, so crazy how far this channel's come. Arthur, if this is the Arthur I'm thinking of, was my first Patreon. And he was a long time subscriber, even before I started doing the Nikola stuff. So, Nikola Badger, Nikola Bear. They should call it the Bear. Oh, that would be, I'd be honored if they changed it to the Bear. So, we're going to start with something fresh. It's the Nikola Bear. I would cry. Let's see. All right, 53 likes. That means still more than half of you guys haven't hit the button. The new FCEV build is so crisp. Yeah, it is actually very sharp looking. Those are just a couple of test trucks. But I really love the way that they've enclosed everything in the back. The pack that was on the back, it looks very well designed, and it looks something. It looks like there was a lot of time put into that, and we're going to make this look sharp, and it does. It's nice to be able to see a difference between the Alpha and the Beta also, because we can't see the electronics or anything like that are going on there. There's some more frames right there, and then more supplies up top. Those might be, I wonder if those are hydrogen tanks. Yeah, because what do you guys think? What do you guys think? We're going to take a look at that again. Right there. You guys watched the video with Sandy Monroe, and they showed the hydrogen tanks, and they weren't square, they were round. Let's go back to that. Let's get to that. There we go. I just got to pause it at the right time. Did those? What do you guys think? Does that look like those could be hydrogen tanks? Because obviously there's plenty of them, so it's got to be part of a truck, and it's definitely not in the BEVs. I never saw something like that on the production line. You guys think those are hydrogen tanks? You guys are 30 seconds behind me on the comments. I'm waiting for you guys to say something. But those look like hydrogen tanks, and I think there'd be 2 of them in each one. And if that's a fact, and looks like there's 9 in each one of these pallets. 9, 18, 27, 36 divided by 2. Those might be hydrogen tanks for a second batch of Beta FCEVs. I agree about hydrogen tanks. Yeah, if you guys are a Lucid fan and you're here because you want to see the Lucid video, it is coming up next. But just because it's Nikola right now doesn't mean you can't hit the like button. So I see a couple of people agreeing. They're making 3 batches of FCEV betas in 2022. But what's a batch? How many are in a batch, Tyler? Now, I'm not an expert either, Penny, but those look like they could easily be the tanks that were in the Sandy Monroe videos. All we saw was a side. They're big. Those look like, I'm going to guess, 40-gallon tanks. I don't know. Probably have to go back and watch that video and see what size those tanks were. But yeah, we didn't notice that in the flyover. I noticed it first time right here, but we are going to take a closer look at that on our next flyover. Somewhere between 5 to 8 per batch in 3 batches. Well, there was 36 there. That's enough for 18. If there's two in each truck, which, again, I'm not even sure if there's two in each truck. I know there's got to be at least two. When are we going green with Nikola stock? I'm hoping that happens during the earnings report. It happened last time because all they got to do is say, we did what we said we were going to do. We met expectations, maybe exceeded a little bit. So that's what helps the stock to show that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, so that's a quite a few trucks, 18 of them, and we already know that there's 4 made, so that puts it at 22. We're gonna have to keep our eye on that because there's probably tanks inside also. It's probably gonna be more than 22. All right, I'm gonna tell you that the highest number we saw was 125. As the quarter goes on, we probably won't be putting out those numbers. Just to respect the privacy of Nikola, and I just don't want to hear the haters going back and forth. If we don't see a new truck, they're going to say the place is shut down. If they see a lot of trucks, they're going to be like, those are fake. They're going to roll them down a hill. So the 125 was the last one that we saw at the end of the quarter. So that's where we're starting from, I believe, when we start counting again, because now they have enough 175 to make in the remaining 3 months. 175. They have said that their goal, they plan on being at 5 per day starting November 1st. So 5 per day, and they're working 5 days a week now. That's 25 a week times 8 weeks in the last 2 months. That's 200. And that doesn't include October. So we'll see how that rolls out. Tyler says, in order to go green, Nikola needs a large order from a large reputable company like Walmart, Amazon, IKEA, and etc. and release specifics, concrete details on the Arizona production hub with TCE. I agree with everything that Tyler said. Det Perez says, just talked to one of the interface designers and she loves working for Nikola. What I want to know is where are the orders? Because there's been no official announcement, but I've been told, I was told by someone after that California initiative came out that they got about 120 orders off of that, but they haven't announced any of those. I also don't know I think those were BEV, but I don't remember if it was specifically BEV. JJ, why Milton on trial? He released BEV and FCEV before Elon. Elon said the Cybertruck is also a boat. Well, I think we know why Trevor Milton's on trial. It's because he lied about other things to inflate the stock. Before we get into Lucid, come on, JJ, don't be a Trevor Milton fan. He did not release the BEV. He did not release the FCEV. That was all other people. Trevor Milton has no intrinsic value to the company. Just like I don't. I could not go in there and do anything for the company right now. As far as his salesmanship, he has it, but he also lies. If he was brought back to be a sales guy and promote the company, no one's going to trust him. So come on. But thanks for the super chat. All right. Going back just real quick. First thing to notice. Nope. Too far. Here we go. That parking lot is nearly full. There are spots over here. And I think these are construction guys, by the way. And these are Lucid employees. And they are using this parking lot over here because they are filling up. KK says 3 on back, 2 on side. Is that for the hydrogen tanks? Is that what we were talking about? Yeah, Robert Lee mentions that he was on American Greed. I have not watched that yet, but I will be watching it just because I want to see what they say. Sam Alexander said he was going to be on that, or possibly be on that, but like I said, I haven't watched it. Jason Roy said that there was a bunch of lies in that. So I'm gonna watch, and I know it's just a hit piece, and there's no way that they're gonna come back and say, "Where's Nikola now?" and go, "Well, they're doing great now." We can see work going on here. The construction parking lot, which we'll get to in a little bit, that also is very full at the Lucid site. A lot of construction employees. You see they're doing some grading in the parking lot. You see trucks moving around. You see some man lifts on the left working on the windows. We've got construction material laying around right here. All this area is going to be parking lots in the future. Penny believes that Cisco and Walmart have possibly made orders already, but they just haven't announced that yet. I think I'm hoping that what they're waiting for is the end of this trial, because once it's done, and all the bad news, it's over with, and they can move on from it. They don't necessarily have to release this. It also proves in a sense that they're not going to just release these things just to improve the stock price, which was a big thing that during the trial, the prosecutors were saying that Trevor's just doing this to increase the price of the stock. There was lots of evidence given that and testimony by Nikola saying that he was constantly asking about the stock price. He wanted to be in the top 100 billionaire list, and he needed the stock price to rise. He was so concerned that he wanted Kim Brady to call NASDAQ, I think, and find out why the stock went down $4 one day. Anyway, here's the tunnel. Sorry if you heard that. Dog moved. Here's the tunnel. It transports the body and white cars from one facility to the paint shop. And that's how they're doing that, which I've said before, I wish that had windows, because that would be really cool to be able to see the cars going down the line. But Lucid, being as secretive as they are, they would never want us to know how many cars are actually flowing through there. JJ, you don't like Sam? You know what? I like Sam except for his Nikola stuff, because he's so off base on it. But a lot of stuff that Sam does is spot on accurate. So I don't know. I got mixed feelings. I'll watch Sam's video. I enjoy them, even with his goofy hair. But hey, I got goofy hair too. But he's spot on when he's talking about the post office and a lot of these other and the mainstream media. So I just don't know why he has it so wrong on Nikola, and he's so convinced that it is what he thinks it is. Yeah. You know, Mark Russell said they had 14,000 reservations that were put in for the FCEV when they first announced it. Don't know how many of those are still good, or how many of those will actually come through. But it's also possible that that number could be higher now. Penny says, considering Cisco signed an 800 truck order with Freightliner for the Escadia, they either already have or will make an order of similar size with Nikola. Well, we can hope so. You know, some people are going to be a little bit scared because Nikola is still a new company, and the stupid ass controversy around Trevor Milton, because this company would be doing incredible as far as public opinion if it wasn't for Trevor opening up his mouth and saying things that weren't true. Tyler says, Sam Alexander's a biased YouTuber. If that show has Sam guy on it, good grief. Come on, guys. I really don't think Sam is that bad, except for his Nikola stuff. I would love to chat with him. We messaged a couple times on Twitter, but that was a long time ago. Agnes says, how is Nikola doing financially at the moment? Are they good for the next 12 months? Yes, they are good for the next 12 months. And that is their goal, always to have enough cash on hand for at least 12 months. But we're looking at Lucid right now. You can see all the cars that are put out here. We flew over some that were wrapped, and they're new wrap here. Let's take a look as we zoom in, because we didn't stay on it very long. So we've got a car hauler, and we've got their new wrap design, which I assume this is cheaper. I don't know if that's the reason that they're doing it. They've never struck me as a company that's doing things to save costs, because they put so much into the design and materials that they put into the cars. But if it is, fine. Protect the car. But yeah, we got a car hauler, and all those cars look like they're ready to be shipped. I would say that they are, because those things need to stay on until it's not something that they're going to take off. They would put on an unfinished car. Yeah, Ben, they stopped wrapping the cars entirely. It's one of those things. Tyler, Bear, how can you watch Alexander if he clearly has no integrity? It's okay to dislike a company, but when someone with any integrity would at least report the truth with Nikola. I watch him because the things that he says about these other companies, like about regarding the post office and some of the other things, they are spot on. He's right. So why is he right about all this other stuff, but he's wrong about Nikola? Because the stuff that he's spouting about Nikola, I know is not true. Now, the stuff that he's spouting about the post office, I know that to be true. So I'm not sure how I should feel about it, you know? Oh, come on, JJ. I'm not even going to repeat that. That's just silly. You know, people can be wrong and about something and still be a good person. Like JJ, for instance. He loves Nikola. I'm not sure how he really feels about Lucid, but he hates Tesla. I love Tesla. I'm not a fanboy, but, you know, I can still respect JJ's opinion, even if I disagree with it. Sam Alexander, I agree with a lot of his opinions. I don't agree with him on Nikola. Again, you got a lot of money in that. Got a lot of money in Lucid, a lot of money in Nikola. I hope that it pops for you. As we're coming around here, we are flying over Tractor Supply's business. Apparently, they either don't care or know that we fly over, because this is our 134th flight over Tractor Supply, and they have not said a peep to us. Guess they're not worried about their safety. All right, you can see everything going on here, not very clearly. This over here on the right, that is the construction workers parking lot, where most of them park, but some of them are parking in the northeast corner. A lot of construction buildings out there, a lot of work going on, and a lot of people there right now. Looks like they're using this back access over here to get in and out, and they've been using that for a while. As we zoom in, we can see all the materials that are stacking up, ready to go, waiting for their turn to be assembled. Zoom in there, you see they still have that area open. I believe that area and some others are open for the concrete trucks to enter. That's why they left that open. And they enter in there and they pour their concrete, then they move on. This area is for loading bays. You can see all the loading bays that are not finished yet. And as we move further to the left, which is north, you see it gets more and more complete. Though some of those bays have doors in them. Most of them do. See, they got a big pile of mess. Did you see all that? See all that construction or those empty boxes there? Look at that. That is a mess. Somebody's got to clean that up. It makes me think about what happened at Tesla in Berlin, where somebody started a fire in their recycled materials, because that's material that's going to be recycled. Go back real quick. Let's just look at that tunnel. I gotta be more ready to hit the pause button. Oh, there we go. So this is the other side, and this is the tunnel right here. And I guess when they close all this off, they will open up this wall and continue with what they need to do. KK says, Lucid construction is so fast compared to Nikola. Looks like Russell didn't pay them. That's why they are slow. Well, it's a much, much bigger project at Lucid, and they have multiple contractors on site doing work there. And what I mean is multiple general contractors. They have at least 2 general contractors. They had one for that SKD building, and they did that in order to speed up the process because one general was not going to be enough. So there, like I said, it's a bigger project, but Nikola is right on schedule. If they paid more to get the building built sooner, they still wouldn't be ready to fill it and put all the equipment in there. So they're doing it on a schedule that works for them. Nikola says, do I have a rough idea of how many cars you think that were produced and delivered? I saw a lot of them on Twitter, hopefully not just moving them to a service center. 17,000 shares. Okay, well, I know we're talking about Lucid. I'm making a rough guess of anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000, and I think that's going to be on the low end. They really started pumping out the cars in the last month, so my expectations are actually pretty high. Whatever their production issues were, it does look like they've gotten through it, and I'm thinking that it's going to be a good number. It's going to be much better than last quarter's 679. That number is ingrained in my head because I was just so shocked. The only thing that would change that is if the only reason I think it wouldn't be that would be if it turns out they were moving cars to service centers. But it does look like they were putting them out. We're just going to restart the video. We're probably not going to make it all the way through it again, because really, who wants to see it twice? I do. But yeah, that's my guess for cars. And if it is 1,500 to 2,000, a majority of those were probably made in the last month. So it does look like things are ramping up. They're at 40 to 50 per day is what the internet rumor is. And if that's true, and they keep ramping up, I think they'll be able to get their goal. But before I commit to that, I want to see what their actual numbers were. Travis, I do think it's a time thing, but it's also when those cars get shipped out with those covers on them and they stay on there, and then they get sent to New York, and then this car hauler guy, they get to the service center, they unwrap them there. Are the service centers mailing them back? I mean, what are they doing with them? Are they just stacking up at not the service center, but the design studio, wherever they're going to deliver them from? Because they don't deliver the cars with the wrap on them. So are they just getting thrown away? Because if those covers are going to be several $100s each, so what you mail them back? I mean, it just, what do you do with that? So, and those covers are expensive just because, one, they're going to use a very nice material on the inside. They've got windows in them. They open up so you can get the doors open and close. So it's not just a simple car cover that you might buy on Amazon for $30. Lucid should order some Nikola trucks. That's a good idea. I wish there was someone at Lucid that would talk to me and say, hey, you need to get you guys some Nikola trucks to deliver your Lucids. Robert Lee asks, how many square feet will Lucid's factory be when it's done? It looks massive. Okay, so the addition that they're putting on right now is approximately, and it changes, so I'm probably wrong, 2.85 million square foot. And when they finish their phase 3, which is the next section, and that section is going to, well, let's just jump to it. We don't have to, this is perfect. I nailed it. Okay. This entire area where you see the construction workers stage, the material staging area, the pond, this area right in here, this is all going to be phase 3. And that's going to bring it to over 6 million square foot for the entire site. And that's not all. Yeah. behind door number 2, this area over here where my mouse is, has all been bought by Lucid. In areas surrounding Lucid, there's more of this farmland. It hasn't been bought, but it's been leased. But it is all up to Lucid to do whatever they want with it now. So a lot of the area surrounding Lucid is now Lucid's area. So they have, I'm not sure how many acres they have, but I'm going to guess it's probably in the neighborhood of close to 2,000 acres that are available. This site is probably around 600 square acres, and all that area around there. A square mile is 600, I think it's 640 acres. A square mile. So they've got room, and one of the possibilities for the additional room is a test track. So that's one of the things that I was told. The dog has indigestion, or he's having a bad dream. Any idea if they started producing the Touring yet? I have no idea. I haven't seen anything that would make me think that that is the Touring. On Twitter, they have a few cars undercover. I wonder what kind of cars are covered there. Yeah, there's a couple that are covered that are close to the production building, like in this area right here. I don't know if those are just old covers, that older cars that are waiting for something that have been covered, and they're just waiting for something before they get shipped out. But it also is a different color car cover. It's like a darker gray. The Lucid Bear Edition. Nice. You know, they have bears all over the Lucid Airs. Little bears are hidden throughout the car. I heard there's like 15 of them. And also when you go into their equivalent of ludicrous mode, what do they? I don't remember what they call it. When you do that, a bear does pop up on the screen. Robert asks if that is big compared to other car factories. It's very similar in size. A lot of these factories take up a very big footprint, and so I'm going to say it's equivalent to other car factories, but it's on the big side. It's definitely on the big side of other car factories, but it's certainly not the biggest. The Tesla factory in Giga, Texas is, I think it's somewhere around 7 million square foot, and that's with the additional floors. Most of this site is single story. Most. Travis says, quick question before he goes. On production, based everything off your videos, if a car okay, I'm going to restart it, we'll go back to where we were, just for your guys' entertainment. If a car hauler hauls 6 cars, sometimes there are 4 on there. Let's say the average is 5 amount of cars. Usually we see 6 to 7 cars going out on these car haulers. So I don't think they're going to put less on if they can avoid it. It costs a lot of money to take these trucks and drive them across the country. So they're going to put on as many as they can. The only thing that can hold them back is weight. Haven't seen many with 7 on them. I did see one. So there must have been, and I thought it was related to the weight of the cars. Because you can only, you've got a limit of, I think, 42 tons. So, Nikola says General Motors' biggest factory is 6 million square foot. Okay, that's a good comparison. So this is going to be over that. And what actually bothers me about that is they talk about when this factory, the Lucid factory, is fully built out at over 6 million square foot. Their capacity is going to be 350,000 a year. I would have thought that it would be more. So maybe that's just for their initial plan, because they have all that square footage. They can add additional lines. I would assume they would have room for it, more production lines, and then increase the capacity. Because they're planning on 350,000 for capacity doesn't mean that it's going to end up there in the long term. It could be more. Travis says, in the lot around the building, we're massive. If there were 7 trucks a day, on average 5 cars on a transporter, that's 35 cars a day, leaving a day. And I'm going to disagree with that. We saw 11 car haulers one day last week, and that's just at that moment. There was 11 of them there. So that means they're going to get their cars, they're going to leave, and others are going to come in. And I haven't seen a car hauler leave with less than 6. So the number is going to be at least 6. So those 11 car haulers took out 66 cars that day, plus anything else that may have come up. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate the super chat. When Lucid stock takes off, we should get together and bear a Lucid. That would be awesome. I would take it. I would take a Pure. So I would appreciate that. So it needs to take off. Let's see. So it's cars on the flyover. We're flying off the lot up there. I think they were pulling out more than. I think they were delivering more than 50 cars a day. So I know there's less cars in the lot, but we've seen different color cars. Last week there were white cars in there, in the mix. A lot of them. Didn't see many of those. So I definitely think they're going through. Javier says, can you play this video? It's important information on Nikola. Well, it's not going to show me the link. Sorry. Dead Pres, I talked to at least 5 people. JJ, don't ruin it for me. I could have 2. So anyway, I need 700,000 patrons. Yeah, I need a lot. But hey, if you guys want to be a patron, check out the Patreon channel. I would appreciate your support. Those are the things that help keep this channel going. See, Rivian and Lucid have tons of competition, and they have also been reducing their car numbers. Nikola's clearly the leader in BEV and FCEV semis just because other companies have been really working on it. I think one of the advantages that Nikola has is that that's their only project. That's where all their money's going to. You've got like Freightliner, they're going to have budgets, they're going to have people that are assigned to it, and I'm sure those people are focused on it, and they're trying their best to make it what they feel is going to work. But at the same time, you always have to be wary of Freightliner could tell them, well, your budget for this is not as high as you need. We've got to put resources other places. They could move people. But this is everybody in the Nikola site. This is what they're working for. And here on the screen, we can see the FCEV. You can see the what they've put on the back. I don't know what you call it, whether it's a canopy or cover. But it obviously looks a whole lot better than it previously did. Imel says, if every subscriber of Bear was a patron, he'd fly every day, I think. That would be, yeah, even at $1, that's $15,000 a month if everyone was a subscriber. But that's not reality. But hey, let's try. Anybody want to be the patron of the day? Because I don't know, I'll throw your name out there and thank you in public. There's the frames, what we think are hydrogen tanks, and we are definitely going to be looking out for that in the future. All right. Hey, we've been going 48 minutes now. All right, I think we're probably going to call it. So I do want to tell you that we did combine these videos today because I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to Mexico. A little bit of side work with the cartel. So, I've got to supplement money so I can do these flyovers, and as long as it's not hurting anybody, right? That's what I think. So I don't think we're going to have time for a flyover. Riley is staying behind, and he has to run the Toro stuff for me. So because I'm going to take 3 days, and it's a lot of work. We're up to 20 cars, so he's got to shuffle a lot of cars around for the next couple of days. Javier, you got a timeout. I didn't even see why. Jeez. Don't say the wrong thing. I know you don't like Nikola. You got to time out like those cabs did, those Nikola cabs. Gigi's here, my Pomeranian, Gigi. Late to chat. What do you think of our rate of trucks per day are at Nikola? I think we're doing 2 or 3 right now. That's where I think we're at. Let's see. Tyler follows Nikola on LinkedIn, and the employee count goes up every week. They now have 1,028 employees on LinkedIn today. If Nikola was tight on money, they wouldn't be expanding so aggressively. It's true. Are there any new cabs in the parking lot for the new style FCEV? The cabs are the same, except for what they put on the back, the bonnet. I still don't know what it's called. And I think that attaches to the same style cab. So, which is obviously smart. Remember, these vehicles are all going to be produced on the same production line. The BEV and the FCEV are going to be on the same production line. All right. Oof, Putin brought down the hammer. Yeah, well, I don't know what that means, JJ. I hope that's nothing bad or too bad. But anyway, we're going to get going. Like I said, no more Flyover videos this week because I will be out of town, and Riley's going to be running his ass off, making sure that the business stays running. So everyone, give Riley a shout out. We appreciate him, and you better too. And we will be back next week with more content like this. So once again, thank you, Patreons. Thank you, Riley, for covering for me. Thank you for the super chats. And you guys have a wonderful week. Hopefully when we come back next week, there's going to be 50 trucks out there and 500 Lucids all wrapped up, ready to go with a little bow on it. They should put a bow on it. That'd be a good idea. I'll let my people know. Thanks for watching.